Hi, first graders. Mr. Askelson here. It is Monday, May 11th, 2020. I hope you had a nice weekend. Yesterday was Mother's Day, so I hope you were able to tell your mother or a grandmother or an aunt or a sister or a friend or a neighbor how much they mean to you. Today on The Matrix, we are looking at clocks again and telling time, and we're going to try telling time to the half hour on a digital clock. It says work on student pages 607 through 610. Do as much of it as you can. And you can remember last week we were working on both an analog clock and a digital clock. And an analog clock is circular, has numbers from starting at 12 and goes all the way back around to 12 again. It has two hands on the clock, a long hand and a short hand. The hour hand is shorter and it points to the hour. And the minute hand is longer and it points to the minute. And remember, on the clock, there are 60 minutes equals 1 hour. And this clock, big hand is on the 12, small hand is on the 3. It is 3 o'clock. We can also tell on an analog clock to the half hour. And you have the same clock, you have the same hands, but notice the long hand or the minute hand is pointing to the bottom down at the 6. And if I was to count all these little marks starting at 12 down to here, there would be 30 of them. And then if I was to count from here back up to 12, there would be another 30. And 30 plus 30 equals 60. So those are the whole 60 minutes. So if my long hand or my minute hand is pointing down here, it would point to 30 minutes. So the hour hand has gone past the 6, but hasn't made it to the 7 yet. We would say that this clock right here shows 6:30. Another type of clock is the digital clock, and the digital clock uses numbers to show the hours and the minutes. And you can see on this digital clock, there's usually on a digital clock the two little dots, and that's what separates the minutes from the hour. The minutes are on the right side, the hours are on the left side. And this clock, all you do is just read the numbers. And if you just see digit at the hour hand or hour side, you would say 2 o'clock. But a digital clock can also show time to the half hour. And remember, analog clock uses numbers and then hands, hour hand, minute hand, to show time. The digital uses numbers. And you can see this clock, the long hand is at the 6, so it's halfway between going around the circle. So that would be the 30, and the hour hand has gone past the 7, but hasn't made it to the 8 yet. So we would say that this is 7:30. Or over on the digital clock, we would say 7:30. Both would show the same exact thing. So let's practice a couple of those. Here are some analog clocks and digital clocks to help us show the time. And you can see the minute hand is pointing straight down. The hour hand is in between the 11 and the 12. So this clock, we could say that it is 11:30 or 11:30. Let's try this one. Minute hand's pointing down to 30, or halfway around the clock. The hour hand is between the 2 and the 3, so we could say that this is 2:30 or 2:30 on the digital clock. So let's check, make sure that those answers are right. Yeah, 11:30 or 11:30, 2:30 or 2:30. Let's try one more. All right, here we see the analog clock. Minute hand is pointing down. Hour hand is between the 1 and the 2, so we could say this clock shows 1:30, or on the digital clock, 1:30. Over on this clock, minute hand is pointing down to the bottom. The hour hand is past the 5, but not to the 6 yet, so we would say 5:30 or 5:30. Let's check our answers. There we go. 1:30 or 1:30, 5:30 or 5:30. Most people say that telling time on the digital clock is a lot easier because all you're really doing is just filling in the numbers or reading the numbers. So hopefully this will help today, first graders. You can use some of the information on the sheet here to go back and review analog clock and digital clock. So you're telling time to the half hour on a digital clock today on pages 607 through 610. Hope you have a nice day, first graders.